Okay. Hello, everybody. So today is November 13th, 2024. I made a video a week ago about what my best guess was as to what the outcome of the election would be. And I was so, my opinion about that was so strong. Like, it wasn't anything from the Lord, but it was just what I thought, just like looking out into the world, the little glimpses of the news that I would catch here and there, and just hearing the people around me who were for Kamala Harris, and mostly they were against Donald Trump because they didn't know anything about Kamala Harris, and I mean nothing. They just knew she was some portion black and that she was a Democrat, so they really didn't know anything about her at all, but they were obviously, according to the plan that is in place, voting against Donald Trump. So I really felt like I was just going by what I was seeing around me. And I felt like listening to people talk, man, when I tell you these people hated Donald Trump, and they were like everybody that I saw that was talking about the elections, because I feel like the conservatives and the Republicans that would have been around me really were kind of silent on the issue. And it could be that they just assumed that me being a black female or me being of African descent and a female in America, that I would be voting for the African American female that was a candidate for the president. So it could be that they just weren't discussing it around me. Because when I generally get in conversations with conservatives, it is because somehow I open the door. Probably most people assume that I would be a Democrat. So anyway, but it's funny because the Democrats that know me well assume that I am a Republican, and they assume that I am a Donald Trump supporter. And it's like people want to put you in one category or the other because that's what the propaganda in the country right now has been so good at doing, and that is polarizing people, making people flock to either this opinion or that opinion, nothing in between, and definitely nothing in between your ears. In other words, no thinking of your own. They're just showing you inflammatory things, very set up, contrived things on whatever news channel you watch, and then you are just supposed to, basically just react off of that and be emotional and respond the way they want you to respond. So if you're not watching those things and you're still thinking for yourself and you're still clinging on to the Word of God as your moral compass, then you're not going to be as quick to run to one of these people as the solution to the problems that we see around us. So anyway, just going based on that, people were like, "Oh, get out and vote." I heard this one lady say, this was a few months ago, probably like in July maybe. She said, "Oh, I'm voting." This was before Joe Biden was out of the race. She said, "Oh, I'm voting for Forgetful Joe." And they were calling Trump an orangutan. I'm not voting for the orange man and all this stuff. So I'm voting for Forgetful Joe. They, even knowing it being obvious, even before the debate, that he was senile and that he couldn't keep a straight thought in his mind and that he obviously was a declining older man. So they just were focused on not Trump instead of voting for a candidate. And I think that's been the most successful strategy that the powers that be have had, is forming our opinions not based on giving us what we do want, but giving us a place to run away from what we don't want. So that was based on, that's how I made that decision. And plus, and I even found it in the notebook where there was a dream that I had. It was something about Kamala Harris. I could not remember the dream. I didn't know anything about it. And I just was like, okay, well, I don't have anything from the Lord about that. So I just had to go with my opinion. And I just wanted to share my opinion. And I was so sure that the tide in the country was that they were just going to put Kamala Harris in office. That, do you know, the day of the election, I never even checked to see who won. I just assumed. I never heard any great celebrations. Everybody was quiet. No one said anything. I went to work that next day, which was Wednesday, and nobody said a word about the election. So I did not know who won. I just assumed that maybe they were still counting votes, or Kamala Harris just won and that was that. And I didn't ask anybody. To me, it doesn't really matter because, they have plans. And who's in the office of the president of the United States is not going to stop any of their plans. They're just going to, they're going to orchestrate events to fit in with whoever is president. Like if they did have enough support, or things would be smooth enough to have let Kamala Harris be president, they would have done that. But since it wasn't, they let Donald Trump get back in again. By they, I mean whoever they are. They let him get back in again because they know they can still control things, because they control him as well as they control Kamala Harris. So anyway, I just assumed, okay, they put her back in office. And then Thursday, I'm at work and I'm talking to this guy, and we see something on the news. It was something about, I can't remember exactly. Maybe like something like boys going to girls' bathrooms or something like that. And he said, "Oh, that is a shame." He said, "It's a shame." And it was an older gentleman, a black gentleman. And he said, and I said, "Yes, it is." And then that opened up the discussion about politics. And he's the one who told me that Donald Trump won. And I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "No." I said, "Are you serious?" He was like, "Yeah." So we went back and forth like that for a couple of rounds. And then, so I finally believed him. And I said, "Sir, you could have just bought me for a nickel." I was like, I am totally shocked. I cannot believe it. So, for a minute, like we're having this discussion, and everything felt lighter for a minute. Like he seemed like he was happy, and I almost was happy too. Because just knowing, like, once the Democrats are back in power, or once the Antichrist is actually sitting in that office, then things will just be full swing, and it'll be all bad from there. It's already all bad, but it's going to really be like sad. So anyway, for a second there, I was like, wow, okay. And then I'm like, nah, it doesn't matter, Bev. It did feel better than if she would have won. And I did not vote. I purposely did not vote. But I thought about it. And I definitely was not going to vote for Kamala Harris. But like, just from all the things that I dreamed about Donald Trump, and the fact that he's just part of the plan, and they're just using him, and it's just like wrestling. It's all about just making money, and the World Wrestling Federation doesn't care who the champion is because either way they make money. So it doesn't matter. It's just all for the entertainment value. And in our case, the entertainment value and the deception value. So, so that was pretty much it. And then, so sorry it took me so long to come back and make a follow-up video to that. I just been really busy. But yeah, I just wanted to come in, and I'm shocked. But nevertheless, don't get tempted like I did to be like, oh, shwoo, yeah, the economy's not going to crash now, because Trump is fake. He's fake. Remember exactly what he did for the country last time? Nothing. Remember what he did about jabs? Oh, he urged everybody to go out and get theirs, and he got his. So, and he moved the capital of Israel, or he recognized the move of the capital of Israel, I think, to Tel Aviv or something like that. So he's definitely on board with the Balfour Declaration. So come on, we can't fall for this. So it led me to go back through my older videos, and thank God for this one person who sent me a whole bunch of the deleted videos off of my other channel because they had them downloaded. I can't remember who it was, but thank you and thank God for you. So there was one of the dreams called Trump to Obama, like Order Out of Chaos, or I don't know what it was called, something like that. So I'm going to share that video because I went back after this happened with Trump being elected. I went back and listened to that video, and man, that video was from 2017. I recorded it in 2017, but it is more appropriate now. It's like 100 times more relevant now than it was then. It almost seemed like back then it didn't even matter, and it was just meant for right now. So I'm going to link that video, and you watch it and tell me what you think. So I'm shocked, and I am happy. I'm not going to lie. I'm glad that girl did not win. I was not ready to see her face day after day and hear all of this more democratic nonsense go forth. Even though I know that, Trump is a trick. He is. He's absolutely a false light. But a song just came to my head. There's this song called, the words go, tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies, tell me lies. So that's kind of like what it's like. You know something is true. You know communism is in America, and you know that communism is the beast, and it's going to be all types of bad. Communism is about creating a monopoly, a monopoly of the elite, where everyone else is basically slaves. And you're not allowed to criticize the government. It's just utter total control. And watching these agendas being played out, and also watching the propaganda go forth, and watching people falling for it and repeating all of these things, it's just very heartbreaking. So just to kind of have a little break from it for right now is nice. Even though this right here, this trick that they about to pull is even worse. If you watch this video that I'm going to link, you'll see what I'm talking about. So anyway, that was my long-winded way of saying I'm shocked and sad. But not as sad as I would have been if we would have went straight to it. But this is going to get ugly. This is going to be ugly. This is like them putting Trump back in office right now instead of going straight to the Democratic thing and the straight, because Democratic, they're socialists, and socialists are nothing but communists. So instead of going straight to communism, the way they're about to set us up for division, contention, and even war because of the reckless mouth of Donald Trump, the reckless mouth that they're using this man to spew all this stuff. So it's like I said, he's the rider on the red horse. That's how I see Donald Trump. So anyway, good night, everybody.